it too simple to say that they've got strikers who can score goals and you haven't today? Was that the difference?
No, it wasn't the difference. The difference was we made 2 mistakes, and that 2 bad mistakes. The top teams don't make those mistakes, and so that gives strikers a goal. And then at the other end, we had to work very hard to create our own opportunities, and we certainly did create enough opportunities to come away with something. But what did we hit the crossbar for about the 5th time in the last couple of weeks, and we had a couple of Joel Grant had a couple of decent chances. So, you know, we're getting in there. We're not a million miles away, but it's not about the strikers. It's just about the whole team. When we finished strong at the end there, you know, it's good Kiefer Moore now. That's his 2 in 2 games. You know, we got in there, and keeper's made a save or 2. So, yeah, the nitty gritty was 2 mistakes have cost us the game.
When your team does score and get back into a game, the belief is there, isn't it? It is there, but what can bring it out sooner? Yeah,
we were just talking about that in the dressing room afterwards, because it takes us to get a punch on the nose before we start fighting, and really we've got to hit the opposition on the nose before they hit us. And I think it's the level we're at as well. You know, we're not as experienced as other teams at this minute in time, and the teams that are at the top there for a reason, because, you know, they've got an assured game, they've got some good players, good passers, good movement, but we stayed in it. We was definitely in it, and I don't know what it takes to start. You've got to make sure your first pass is right, your first header's won, your first shot is on target, your first tackle's a good tackle, and that's how you start. But obviously teams have to give it a go at the end when they're behind. But you're right, it'd be nice to start like that, but not many teams do.
A word for Kiefer Moore today. You've already mentioned him. He did seem to come on and change it from your point of view.
He's going to be a good player, and you know, we need to have patience with him. It's definitely, you know, he's jumped up 28 leagues, you know what I mean, and but he's got it all there. It'll be just the confidence. It'll be the confidence in him, in himself, and he's got all the technique. And you know, when it hits him on the bum or hits him on the back of the heel or back of the head, it's through his lack of confidence or experience as opposed to his lack of ability. But once he gets that confidence, and then I think we'll see a top player.
Another youngster who's learning the game with you is Shane Duffy, and I think we said in commentary today that was the first mistake we can almost remember since he's been at Yeovil. Will he be an easy lad to pick up?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's got to work out what it was that he did that made the mistake. He was a little bit lapsed at the time when good teams shut you down, and but you're dead right. You know, he's been a stalwart for us, and him and Webby I thought did very well. You know, it wasn't our defensive organisation that cost us. It was just 2 individual mistakes. Unfortunately, Luke's first one and Shane the second one. So what can you do about that other than, you know, you can remind them, but they already know that. But as long as they haven't let us down too many times, which neither of them have, then you know, you just have to move on to the next one.
And in between this and the next one, I suppose you've got another busy week, have you?
Yeah, there's always busy weeks, you know, but, you know, if people are suddenly expecting Yeovil to sign a big name player, then that's not going to happen, do you know what I mean? So don't get all our customers up too high in their expectations, because, you know, we sign Joe Bloggs and they go, oh, Joe Bloggs, who's expecting Wayne Rooney, do you know what I mean? But so I've just said out there, there's 72 league clubs and there's 24, 23 other good teams in the Championship, and we're all fighting for good players. And you know, if there's a good player out there and he has the choice of 5 or 6 teams, or Yeovil or Burnley, you know, there's every chance he's going to choose one of the others. But we're going to keep going, and we're going to try and keep finding these little gems if we can, and keep competing. And the other teams ain't yet. Sheffield Wednesday did today, but not the others getting away from us yet. You know, so they're your cup finals now. When Millwall come here, when we go to Charlton, when Sheffield Wednesday come here, when Barnsley come here, you know, they're your cup finals now, and we've got to be ready for them.
Thanks, Gary.
Thank
Gary
you.
Johnson live with us on BBC Somerset.
Gary, you've always kept in touch, but there's a little bit of a gap now, especially with that Sheffield Wednesday result today. Is that worrying you now, the fact that, you know, one win doesn't take you up there?
Yeah, no, we always knew that it would take 2 or 3 wins on the trot to get out of it. You know, Burnley, with the way they're playing, that's probably not the team to start your run, although we give it a bit of a go. So no, we know where we are and what we got to do, and there's some games coming up that you know, we've got to highlight as must-win games. You know, this was a must-win game, but it wasn't an easy must-win game against Burnley, and there's some top teams in this division that are very close to the Premiership, and we understand that.
What do you see the Birmingham game then? Is that a could win, must win, might win?
No, don't start putting words in my mouth. It's an important game. I don't know how they got on today, but you know, they're one of the teams in the lower half of the division, and they're the games you've got to try and affect and get a win.
Gary, 2 good strikers out there got the goals against you. I mean, Ings, what sort of strike that is. I mean, you must
Well,
have
we said
with
if you-
MVIs and new envious eyes in a way.
Well, of course, yeah. But if you make mistakes like we did, 2 mistakes, of course the top teams have got those players to punish you, and the top teams don't make mistakes for you to get that opportunity. So you know, we're still learning. We're still a young group, certainly an inexperienced group as far as the championship's concerned. But you know, we're so close to a lot of the top teams. All the top teams here, we've just got beat by the odd goal, and we can't get our noses in front. When we get our nose in front, like against Nottingham Forest, we can win the game 3-1 like we did. But we just have to get that punch on the nose before we come out fighting, and that's sometimes a bit too late.
The Scottish record this morning was linking Yeovil to a lad from Livingston, the name's Mark Minotti. Is there anything in that? Or?
No, I've heard 28 names today, and none of them I've ever heard of. So, you know, but even if I had, I'm not being disrespectful to the player at Livingston that you're talking about. But now loads of names are going to come up, and I appreciate you, because what I'll do is I'll go straight in my room and I'll look him up and I'll see whether he's worth the rumour.